In a remote village in Upper Egypt, there was an old abandoned house that was told many terrifying stories. The villagers say that this house is haunted by demons and that whoever enters it at night does not leave it safely. The house was owned by a wealthy man named Hajj Ibrahim, who lived in it with his family. But after a mysterious incident that led to the sudden death of his wife and children, Ibrahim decided to leave the house. Since that day, no one dared to live in it, as rumors spread that strange sounds were heard at night and doors opened and closed by themselves. One day, two young men from the village, Ali and his friend Mustafa, decided to verify the veracity of these stories. They did not believe in superstitions and considered everything said about the house to be nothing but legends. On a pitch-black winter night, they sneaked into the house with two flashlights. As soon as they entered, the two felt an unnatural coldness, although the weather outside the house was not cold. The two lamps began to shake, and heavy footsteps were heard coming from the upper floor, even though the house was empty. Ali said to his friend in a nervous tone, "Do you hear that? Just the wind?" "Nothing," Mustafa answered, trying to pretend to be brave. But suddenly the lamps went out, and the place was filled with pitch darkness. Mustafa tried to turn the lamp back on, but the battery seemed to be completely empty. At that moment, they heard a faint laugh, a laugh that was not human at all. The two young men wanted to leave the house, but the door they entered from was tightly closed. Mustafa tried to force it open, but to no avail. Suddenly, a huge shadow appeared in front of them, resembling a human but unnaturally taller, and its eyes glowed in the darkness with a frightening red color. The shadows began to move everywhere, and the sounds became more intense, as if they were whispers coming from another world. Then, Ali and Mustafa realized that it was not just imagination or illusions. With difficulty, they managed to open a small window and jump out of it. Once they got out, they both felt like a huge weight had been lifted off their shoulders. They vowed never to return to that house again. The next day, the villagers discovered that the two young men had returned in a state of extreme shock, unable to talk about what had happened. The house remained deserted forever, and no one dared to enter it again. It turned into a place that was always referred to as the haunted house of the jinn, where no one knew what really inhabited it, but everyone knew that it was not of this world.